minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This time on Chasing UFOs.
Ignition.
Reports of small unidentified objects seen around NASA launches feeds rumors of alien drones sent here to gather intel. Seeking answers, Ryder, Ben, and James travel to the Sunshine State to investigate these claims of alien spies.
This thing had capabilities that I've never seen before.
Following a trail of sightings, the team finds themselves deep in the Florida Everglades. But this time, will their quest to learn the truth take the team too far?
So what is that right there?
You saw something?
I'm looking right at it. There's something up there.
What we have here is not any earthly craft.
Did you see that?
There's usually a more conventional explanation for unidentified things that people are seeing if you take the time to look at them.
For the first time in my life, I'm caught believing that the possibility of UFOs is all too real.
For me to be out here looking for evidence, this is it. This is what I live for. This is what I've been dreaming about.
Oh my God! Right now we're heading towards Cape Canaveral. You know, there's been a lot of strange activity associated with the launches. Cape Canaveral, Florida is home to the Kennedy Space Center. And what people don't know is that there's a lot of UFO activity surrounding that area, especially around shuttle launches. We actually have a recent video of what looks like an unidentified flying object around Space Shuttle Endeavour right here. This is from May 2011 of what people say is an unidentified flying object actually moving through and around the plume of smoke after the shuttle launches. But this isn't the first time that this has happened. This has actually surrounded multiple shuttle launches. And, you know, people believe that our launches are actually being monitored. A lot of people say it's, you know, some sort of an alien unmanned vehicle that's come around and has come to do research on us.
Who knows? Maybe they're like little probes. We send out little probes all the time. It would make perfectly good sense to me that if aliens were exploring or surveying Earth, they'd do it with some probes, just like we do.
You know, I gotta be honest, that first thing, it just looked like a bug flying in front of the camera. You know, to me, I think we need to look at more conventional explanations first.
I think now that we're here in Cape Canaveral, where a lot of these launches take place and people go about watching these launches, maybe we try to meet with these people, get their eyewitness testimony, and find out what they're seeing.
Sure, let's see if what these people are seeing around a launch is something possibly conventional or something that just defies explanation.
So the jury's still out on what this thing is, but some have reported seeing similar objects around other launches, and some also suggest that these objects are actually alien probes coming down to watch our space activities. So we're getting together a group of space launch watchers to see what they have to say about it.
How many launches have you seen?
The term I use is countless. Because it's not just shuttle launches, it's unmanned launches, it's, you know, anytime I hear something's going up, I head down to the river and watch it go up.
So who here has seen a UFO?
There's been sightings around this area. Prior to a launch, there's been sightings around out over the ocean. The thing I saw in the air lit up orange just in a nanosecond. And it moved slowly across the road, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
I saw what I thought was one time, that it was gone just like that.
Since the locals told us that they've been seeing these strange objects flying around the launch pad, we wanted to go there and investigate ourselves. Cape Canaveral is not exactly the spot where you can just drive right up and walk around and investigate at night. So we needed to do the next best thing, and that was to hit the water. We're getting pretty close to the launch pad where all the sightings have been taking place. Why don't you tie off to us? Barry, do you have your sea legs? All right, well, I think we're a pretty safe distance. If we get any closer, I mean, we're bound to raise suspicions. Let's just keep our wits about us, you know? This definitely isn't a place where they want you to sneak up at night. I think it's best if you and I take the Zodiac in a little bit closer, and it'd be great to get boots on land as close as we can over there.
Guys, don't push it. I mean, you know, this is sensitive, secure federal territory. So, you know, get closer, but just don't push it.
I heard from Matt was push it to the limit.
I know you're not gonna be careful, so James, be careful out there.
Good boy.
I'll make sure that she's not careful.
I don't think you gotta worry about that. All right?
All right, just look. Godspeed.
I'm never gonna see them again.
I'm really curious how close we can get.
Why can't we go all the way?
That's what I'm hoping.
If it was just James, I think they'd come back, but I'm just gonna push it.
Ryder for Ben.
Ryder, this is Ben. Go ahead.
Hey, Ben, just letting you know we're closing in.
No activity yet. Doesn't seem like there's any obstacles in the way, so we're going to press forward.
Just play it safe and keep your eyes up.
Copy that.
All right, it's getting shallow. Oh man, it's so shallow here. I think we've got about seriously inches right now.
We're getting closer. We should probably be careful with our lights now. Maybe kill the engine a little bit. We've got about 1.5 feet of water right here. That's about it.
You might want to paddle the rest of the way in. It's really shallow.
Ryder and James, if you read me, there is what I believe is a Falcon 9 rocket on the pad. The VAB is open, the vehicle assembly building, and there's a lot of activity over there. There's a rocket on the pad. I mean, security's going to be up a little tighter. So there may be more eyes on the perimeter than you anticipated, so be aware.
Copy. I don't know why, but the hair on the back of my neck's standing up like something's about to happen.
Oh, I can see the launch pad. You see it? It looks like a glowing orb near the launch pad. It's definitely glowing.
Oh, it's definitely getting lower.
Yeah, it is, right?
It's dropping really fast now.
Oh, look how much lower it's gotten.
And that's not moving slow like a planet. I mean,
That's moving fast.
I mean, what could drop like that? Oh my God, it's moving really close to the lights now.
Wow.
You see that? It's almost behind the third one.
Yes, I do.
Ryder and James for Ben.
We've been tracking what looks like an orangish
Orb. It has descended
from above those lights to now below that third one. Do you see that? This thing moved
the entire length of the tower in about 5 minutes, less. I mean, we've tracked planets before.
You could easily see how fast
It dropped, and now it's completely out of view.
Man, we're almost on land. This is not looking good. We're tracking the bottom right now. We're gonna drag it all the way across. The only other alternative, if we get out, we can walk. It could be
Alexander, it could be alligators. If you want to go on shore, then we just gotta be careful because there's probably gonna be some alligators up there.
Ryder for Ben, if you can hear us, we are heading in on foot. We've run aground, and well, if you don't hear from us soon, we might be alligator dinner.
Okay, let's go.
Wait, don't go so far ahead of me.
That looks like Alligator Alley. Mud is almost up to my knees.
Did you just hear that?
Yes.
What was that?
I have no idea. It sounds like a big creature swimming.
It does.
There's something up there.
Something just touched my leg. Yeah, I think so.
Man, there are mosquitoes out here. Holy
Ryder and James, I've got a boat incoming, looks like from the shore. It looks like it's heading toward your position.
Copy that. We're pulling out of here.
It's one of those horror movies. The engine isn't stuck.
Ryder for Ben, if you can hear us, we're making our way back to you. But unfortunately, it's real slow going because of how shallow it is.
Hey guys, they're shining a searchlight onto the shore.
They're looking for us.
Yeah, copy. I do see the searchlight. That's exactly where James and I just were.
They're looking for us, man.
Oh, I just saw it shadow. They turned their lights off.
Oh, they're in stealth mode.
Sounds like a Coast Guard boat.
Ryder and James, they're headed back out. It looks like they're headed toward your location again. Over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like you guys may have scared up some trouble.
Well, never a dull night. Last night didn't exactly go as planned. If we want to find out what's going on there, then we're going to need to talk to someone that's been on the inside. You know, I think with all these questions that we have about these launches and, you know, what actually goes on the inside of NASA, it would actually be really great to speak to an astronaut themselves and find out what they have to say.
Well, guys, it just so happens I do know one astronaut who walked on the moon.
Of course you do. You only know one? I'm pretty sure you know like 5.
Well, there's one in particular I think I have pretty good access to, and that's Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell. So I was kind of keeping it in my back pocket because
didn't want me to run off the road?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to sort of break the news to you slowly, and I'm sure he could shed a little light on your disbelief in UFOs there, buddy.
Ignition sequence start.
Edgar Mitchell is the 6th man to walk on the moon. He's the Apollo 14 astronaut. He has met with military and government officials that have shared with him very unambiguous UFO sightings, and it's his belief that Earth is being visited. Good old Main Street.
Spacewalk of fame.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming to meet us.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Really appreciate it.
Good to see you again, James.
Really good to see you too, Dr. Mitchell. I have a quick question right out the gate. You can explain some of the stronger evidence to support the fact that UFOs are real.
Okay. Being in the military and an aviator for many years, I knew that pilots all over the world, military pilots, airline pilots, and encounter them all the time. Because I grew up in Roswell, I know most of the predominant investigators in the UFO field because of those Roswell connections. And so I have no doubts about it now.
Did your opinion change of UFOs before you went up?
I had no thoughts about it then, no knowledge of it, except for the fact that I knew of the Roswell incident because I lived there at the time.
What we're hearing is kind of some sort of UFO observation of perhaps our space program and NASA, launches. Is that something that you're aware of as well?
Yeah. I would not be surprised if we are under surveillance by alien visitors. I think they're interested in everything that we're doing.
What do you think, these visitors are doing here or around us and around, these launch sites?
I think just observing our progress. They're looking to see what is taking place on this planet.
I think it's really important for us to keep in mind that someone of this caliber, an MIT grad, walked on the moon telling us UFOs are real. I think we need to listen to what he's saying.
You guys look at this right off the launch pad. It's just like, it looks perfect.
Are there any UFOs in that photo?
I think there's one right
No,
there.
no, look at that.
Oh my God, that is a little something going on up there. Hey, you must be Charlie.
Charlie Mars.
Really
How
nice
are
to
you,
meet
Steve?
Jim Fox, Ben McGee.
Ben, very pleased to meet you.
After speaking with Dr. Edgar Mitchell, we walked out and bumped into another former NASA employee. So obviously, we were interested in getting his opinion on whether he thinks NASA knows more than they're letting on.
You worked at NASA.
Worked out there for about 37 years. I started on the Mercury program. The last flight for Mercury went into Gemini and then went into the Apollo program. Stayed in the power and sequential realm for quite a bit. And then as we came on into Apollo, was Chief Lunar Module Project Engineer throughout the Lunar Module program.
Oof, wow.
And it's how I got to know, most of the Apollo astronauts.
And where do you get most of your artifacts here? Are they donated, or do you go out and find them yourself? Or?
Some we go out to Kennedy Space Center. They have a yard that they will put things that are excess, and we can bid on them, and every now and then we can get them to hold things for us. But the great majority were brought in by people that used to work there, both NASA and contractor, both active and retired. To start the museum, about 3 of us, me and Bob Seek and one other fellow, just brought things we happened to have in the garage and, here and there.
Do you believe in unidentified flying objects and the idea that ETs are visiting us?
I believe that the possibility is a lot more plus than it is negative.
Do you hear about the rumblings and the rumors, about unidentified flying objects surrounding these launches, even in Cape Canaveral?
In my experience there, I personally never saw a UFO at KSC, but just because I've never seen it doesn't mean it hasn't occurred.
Do you think NASA knows more than what they're telling us?
I'm absolutely sure. You play the odds. And you don't have to really see something to, in your own mind, believe it's possible. And we've got tons of data that people have seen, have been abducted, have been affected by supposedly UFO-type individuals.
Here's a former NASA employee telling us that extraterrestrials exist and that NASA knows more than they're sharing with the public. I'm pretty curious to know what the hell's going on here in Florida.
I think with multiple eyewitness sightings down south, that I think that's definitely, the place we should head next.
Eyewitnesses in the area all seem to describe this glowing orb that they see flying in the sky.
The thing I saw in the air lit up orange just in a nanosecond, and all of a sudden it was gone.
And now we have a new lead from a man who says he's not only seen that same thing, but he's taken photos of it.
We're on camera.
Oh, there we are. There's another one.
Right there.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to my home.
Thank you for having us, Aaron.
Sergeant Bruno isn't your average eyewitness. This man is a decorated police officer. So when someone like that says they saw something, we jump at the chance to meet with them.
Are you still active in the police force now?
I am. I work for the state, and I'm retired infantry division combat team from 1124 Infantry Combat Division. and emergency response of National Guard and Army.
I'm very interested to hear more about the red orb because I've actually interviewed military pilots and regular pilots and civilians that have seen these red orbs. How did it start?
About 6 o'clock p.m. I was coming back from a family gathering, and I saw a red object pulsating in the middle, hovering up and down right next to the palm tree. The only thing that I heard was like a sound of a whoosh. There's no propellers, no antennas. I couldn't believe my eyes. So I ran back inside and said, honey, come over here. My wife was there. Take a look at this. She came out. She saw it too, and she couldn't believe it. So she ran back inside and got a digital camera that we have and snapped 9 pictures. And it's a real object because the flash actually bounced back from it.
If someone like you knows what, drones look like or knows what, the vehicles we have
Absolutely,
in our arsenal.
That's why it caught my attention. And the reason why is because in our arsenal, we don't have anything that it's sparse or advanced that won't do any type of noise. You wouldn't see any type of propellers. And on top of that, it would actually maneuver the way it did because it was intelligent. This thing had capabilities that I've never seen before at all on any of the arsenals.
The sighting that you had over here actually might have left some trace evidence.
The grass itself in one of the patches was completely burned, but not all the way out to the end. And the other one was ashy white, like if you would have bleached it.
The sighting that Sergeant Bruno had was really unusual to me. I mean, one, it's rare to be that up close and personal with an unidentified flying object, but he also took photos of it.
So my wife came up to here and snapped pictures right here.
We often associate UFOs to be large enough to be piloted. That doesn't necessarily discount what Bruno captured on film. It could very well be probes from other worlds sent here to investigate what's happening on Earth, just like we send probes out to investigate what's happening on other worlds. So just because it's small, it doesn't necessarily discount it for being a bona fide UFO.
As you can see on this picture right here, there is the object. There is the northernmost palm tree, which is the biggest one that is not crooked. So once we decided to actually flank it and see what it was, this thing actually elevated itself on a 45-degree angle and did a moon shape, went all the way down to across the street, which is just about 45 to 50 feet, right around here, and hovered to this side, stayed there for about a second, and then vaulted up into the sky and disappeared.
Wow.
Yes.
So I'm particularly curious about, you said there are 2 spots where you saw what you think are the physical effects of the object that you saw. Would you be willing to show us those?
Absolutely. You guys follow me.
The great thing about this case is there's actually potentially multiple types of evidence here. We've got, on the one hand, photos, and on the other hand, the possibility of physical interaction with the ground. So this is fantastic.
The grass itself, it burned only halfway, and on the other one was actually ashy all the way down, which was indicating of controlled heat.
2 spots. So is this one here?
That's one right there. The grass doesn't even grow there anymore. And this is the other one right here. This one was ashy white, and this one was kind of burnt.
Would you like to do the honors, James?
Love to.
Based on what Bruno described, James and I are going to do a sweep. We're going to take some soil samples and do an electromagnetic survey to see if there's any latent electromagnetic radiation from an interaction with something and see what we find.
While Ben and James collect samples, I got a head start on the night investigation. Sergeant Bruno's given us permission to use his house tonight to do an investigation. With a recent sighting in the area, I wanted as many cameras on the sky as possible. So I've got infrared cameras and thermal cameras that I can monitor throughout the night. I'm hoping that we can capture whatever it is these people are seeing.
This is how an astronomer does surveillance with a telescope tripod. So right about, I think this is pretty good. See, check it out. All I'm interested in right now.
All those dust particles is picking up.
I think those are bugs, James.
Bugs? Get out of here.
Nope.
No way. There's zillions of those. It's gotta be dust.
Too wet to be dust, man.
Look how many those are.
Yeah. I know. It's kind of scary, huh? Ryder, this is Ben and James. Do you copy?
Yeah, go ahead, Ryder.
We've set up a surveillance camera on the telescope tripod, and I think we're prepped here, so we're going to move out on foot. Over.
All right, copy that. Sounds good.
Looks like white orbs were just flying through the screen right here. But not like this, not like the dust, you know, and the humidity. It looked like something different. Oh, that's weird. Hey guys, are you seeing anything in the sky?
To the east, just behind my van.
Yeah, Ryder, we're looking east.
Don't really see anything right now.
Do you see that? Come on, guys, tell me you guys see that.
Right now? I've got nothing. I'm looking right at it.
Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? It's there. It's there, and it's steady. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's now static and it's gone. What am I looking at? Oh my God. Okay, it's further.
It's much further. It's much further east now.
Oh my God. Like, are you kidding me? What the is that? You guys, get here into the van. Just get into the van right now.
James, come on. What do you guys? Where?
Okay. I'm telling you, you're gonna lose your mind when you see this. You're going to lose your mind. Watch. I want to show you the plane. Watch this. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is a plane I'm watching. Easily recognizable, it's a plane. Look at how they're on target, okay?
Whoa.
What? What?
It's gone. It's gone. Okay, I'm gonna go back further. That. What is that? Look at it.
I can't believe that.
I'm rewinding right now. Okay? Keep your eyes on that because you guys do not see that when you're out there.
What the?
That's insane.
I had goosebumps.
That's insane.
Whoa.
That's incredible. Just the timing, the way it blinked out, the way it came back.
I've never seen anything like that before on an infrared camera. I really haven't.
Okay, we just saw something truly unconventional.
For me, that's the first time that I've been able to say, wow, that was fascinating. Last night, I captured something that defies belief. Right before my eyes, I'm watching something and then it just disappears. And what's really strange to me is just how similar it is to what everyone else has reported seeing in the skies. I mean, I'm shocked. Best I could tell, that object that I saw last night was in or around the Everglades. And I want to talk to somebody who knows that area like the back of their hand. You know, I think while we're down here in the Everglades, you know, we should definitely contact Johnny Cobbler. He's a guy that I've, you know, heard his name over and over again when it comes to UFOs. He seems to be a guy that's collecting these stories on his own personally. We're going to speak with Johnny Cobbler, a man that's not only a UFO researcher, he's also an alligator hunter.
How are ya?
I'm good.
Vicious.
They're not that bad.
Well, we've come down, all this way because we've heard that there have been some strange sightings in the area, and we heard that you might have actually had a sighting yourself.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of crazy stuff down here. I saw a glowing fireball, what looked like a glowing fireball. It looked like a comet, like another sun entering through the atmosphere. Like coming from outer space, getting brighter as it got closer, lit up the whole entire sky.
Really?
Orangey color? Yeah, orange, like orangey red. Looked like a bubble with fire in it. And then it split up into lights, separate lights, orange lights. And then it just slowly went over the horizon.
I'm not quite sure what to make of Johnny Cobbler yet, and some of the details are a little hard to extract from his story, but he's very adamant that something happened at the Everglades, and I think it could have been a meteor sighting.
One person described it as another sun entering through the atmosphere.
I would like to remind Ben that just because we can't explain it scientifically, in today's technologies, it doesn't mean it's not happening. I wonder, in my mind, how many times it would take Ben to listen to different testimonies from people of all walks of life before he concludes that something truly inexplicable is taking place.
Well, what do you say, to people that say that that's swamp gas, that what you're seeing is actually a natural occurrence?
A lot of times you look up in the sky, and then if you see a bunch of lights sitting there that are out of the ordinary, you're gonna watch them for a second, and if they start moving around, it's not swamp gas.
We'd love to try to collect some evidence to prove one way or another. Would you help us get out to the Everglades, to one of the sighting spots?
Johnny's taking us out into the Everglades to where he's had his most recent encounter. Because the location is so remote, we're gonna have to take alternate transportation.
All right, let's regroup and see what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So, what was that one time you saw the UFO? Was that off to the east from here?
A lot of the lights are just like in this whole area here.
Well, I think, we obviously have a large area to cover. Why don't we divide and conquer? You and James head on in, do some sampling. I'll stay with the safety of the boat and the alligator wrangler.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds real fair.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Don't you think it's the alligator wrangler that should be getting out of the boat?
Well, keep us apprised of your status, and then we'll do the same.
All right, good luck.
Okay, cool.
After you, sir.
My thanks. Oh, man, this is heavy.
Good luck, guys. Snakes are out tonight. You can jump out here and check it out.
Yeah. What do I have to worry about in this high grass right here?
A lot of stuff, alligators, snakes, crocodiles, caimans.
I just can't see anything. It's dark.
Man, there's some mosquitoes out here.
You're not kidding.
Hey, yeah. Apparently there's pythons in here, so we gotta...
Yeah,
pythons and alligators.
Yeah, we're not gonna push it. Oh.
Whoa, something just jumped.
This looks like a little game trail thingy right here.
That's a gator right there.
Gator trail.
Yeah, looks like it.
Ryder, this has been James saw something jump in front of him while we were foraging.
If you get in any trouble, let us know. We'll swing back for you right away.
Yeah, copy that. I think we're gonna put some distance between us and that location. Over. So let's put a little distance. Let sleeping dogs lie. Go that ways a little bit.
I'm with you.
Maybe just to the edge over here?
It's a little thick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, what is that right there?
You saw something?
See it back over there? Now watch the flashing. You see what we're talking about, right?
I can barely see it.
You see like the red? It could have been coming directly at us. A lot of times that'll give the effect of it not moving.
Ryder for Ben and James.
Ryder, this is Ben. Go ahead.
Really strange flash of white light in the sky.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, James. What's that right there?
That flashing white light? Is it an orb?
Man, that one light is gone.
Ryder for Ben and James. We just looked up in the sky and noticed that the object's gone.
Did you guys see where it went?
Yeah, copy that, Ryder. We were watching it, and it looked like it just faded away. Over.
James,
did you think it disappeared?
Well, that's too good to look at it.
With the binoculars, and it was, you know, I mean, it could have been through
Atmospheric stuff, but Ben thought it was a
flying saucer, and I told him not to jump to conclusions.
Ben always jumping to conclusions.
Did you hear that?
Ryder, this is James. How do you feel about coming and scooping us up and calling it a night?
Copy that. We'll be there as soon as we can. Oh, what was that? There's something in the brush over here.
Just watch out for the gator holes.
Oh my God, why did you just say that?
See the trail? Oh, there's a gator. Look, a little hatchling.
If there's a baby one, does that mean Mom's around here?
Most likely.
Ben and James, we're marooned out here. I think we got pythons behind us and alligators in front of us and mosquitoes all around us.
You can't see these gators. I'm looking them dead in the eye.
There's another one. See one on the other side?
No, I'm completely surrounded. I'm 100% surrounded by gators right now. And it's scary. It's like a whole bunch of glowing eyes just staring at you from the water.
No, I know. This is always the part of the horror movie where something jumps out.
Mama's coming closer.
Oh, the mama's on the move. I'm staring this thing right in the eyes right now, and I've watched her move probably about 100 feet towards us.
All right.
Ryder, it's Ben and James. We were requesting extraction immediately.
You know, I keep hearing weird, but we are definitely ready for extraction.
Over and found.
All right, copy that. We're on our way.
Well, that's nice.
Hope we can find him out here right quick.
Oh my God, I don't even see him.
Got the hairs on the back of my neck are starting to stand up because I can't see anything around me. The sooner I get out of here, the better I'll feel too, man. Tell me about it.
Oh my God, did you hear that? Crazy.
They are to the left. They are to the left. That's good right there. Hold it. That's good. We can load up like that.
What are you guys doing?
We happy to see you guys, let me tell you.
Being out in the Everglades was a little dicey, but we ended up with video footage, plus all 10 digits. We headed west, back to our offices to analyze all the evidence we collected in Florida. I think Florida was an interesting investigation, took a lot of turns that I wasn't expecting. So right here, this is the actual video that brought us to Florida. This is from the Space Shuttle Endeavour. And what people say is that there are actual sightings around these launches.
If there were extraterrestrials out there, I do think our space activities would be something that they'd be interested in. It's what we would be interested in if we were visiting other worlds. It sure isn't hanging around if it's really taking a look. That thing is screaming by. And I think if you really take a look at the video, you can see that the object is actually in between the camera and the plume behind the space shuttle. I mean, it's just a split second, but the pixels darken when it's in front and then lighten up again as though it's moved past. So I think you happen to catch a very interesting shot of a bug.
What I'd love to look at again is that video that I took when I was in the surveillance van at Bruno's house. Oh my God, what is that? And it looks like two planes potentially colliding in front of me, and then one disappears.
Just blinks out, right?
Just blinks right out.
Well, you guys want to see? Because I think I figured out what it is.
Okay, so there you guys are in frame right here.
And if you watch the relationship of us with the infrared lights that are on the night cameras that we're using, as we turn and as we move, it blinks out right when you walk in front of the camera. And the way that it appears to move is directly tied to our camera's location. See?
So you're telling me that what I'm seeing here is a reflection off your infrared cameras, and James steps in front of it, and that's why it disappears.
Yeah.
I legitimately think that what I captured is an object, not a reflection, and that Ben's just jealous. Sergeant Bruno, he captured what he believes is a red orb. He says that this was some sort of an unmanned drone that he saw in his front yard.
This thing had capabilities that I've never seen before at all.
And he believes that it actually left some sort of a burn mark in the ground.
Yep. Well, these are the results from the soil sample we took from Sergeant Bruno's house, from the alleged burn location.
Right.
And you can see it all looks fairly conventional. So we saw a lot of interesting things in Florida, but it's going to take a lot more than what we've seen to convince me that we're being visited by alien drones.
And what people were seeing in that area, you know, I think was interesting. They were seeing orbs, right? That was what the theme through Florida was. These orbs, potentially these unmanned drones. So what is being seen over Florida? I mean, I don't think it's swamp gas. I mean, that's for damn sure.
You know, I've investigated UFO sightings for a long time, and I've heard stories of these orbs. After having met with witnesses, seen some very impressive photographs and video footage, I'm convinced that there are probes over the state of Florida, most likely from another world.